Yeah. I mean, we're not, or in my experience and the people around me, we're never taught from like a young age to ever tap into these sort of states. Or stillness was used as a form of punishment.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're in trouble, you're in timeout, so like you don't get to play with any of your things. Like, go be still, go sit in that chair. And so now there's this association with stillness that is punishment, which I think is to a little bit of the detriment of of like us as youth, to learn that from a young age. And like you said, like we all kind of live in our own internal world, and that world is essentially kind of limitless, especially going back to what I was talking about, imagination. And I think there is probably maybe more of that when we were young, to like explore that imagination, to really foster at least that imaginative quality. And yeah, there's a lot of profound things that can happen, or at least in my experience. Like, for instance, I learned about something called yoga nidra in one of my teacher trainings, and I feel like it's that phrase has been more popularized recently. I've heard it on like Andrew Huberman's podcast.
Yeah, he's got the non-sleep deep rest.
Yeah, non-sleep deep rest, kind of taking like the yoga word out of it, to make it a little bit more available to more people. But that is a practice about really getting still and highlighting like every area of the body, doing like a rotation of consciousness, doing a breath practice. And essentially it's all built around becoming aware of all of you, like your body, and then the different layers, like your mind, your emotional body, your imagination, your energy, and just like speaking to all of it as a means to put you into this still state where you're still conscious. Sometimes you fall asleep. Technically in the practice, you're not supposed to fall asleep, but kind of stay in that liminal space between sleep and wakefulness. And a lot of profound things can happen there. It's almost a little bit like hypnosis in some way. Not quite the same, but that's when you put yourself into that parasympathetic state, and you can be imaginative, you can explore, and you can have these profound experiences, where you sort of like plant seeds in your subconscious mind. And that's kind of what is running the show a lot of the time. When we're on autopilot, we're kind of running off of that subconscious, which is a great thing. Like, so we don't have to we don't always have to be conscious all the time, and can operate off of this automatic system. But yeah, it is a really beautiful thing to be able to just essentially like kind of come home to yourself and feel at home in yourself. Because like you were saying, you reach for these things out of maybe not boredom, but like, I don't want to have to just be still and alone and with myself and with my thoughts. And it could be a scary, dark place. And I've definitely been there before too, where it's like, oh, there's nothing left to reach for. And now I have to be with myself. And God forbid I have to do that. But it's almost funny. It's kind of like the answer is right there, and to just kind of switch your mindset or your frame around it to become more intensely interested in that, I think could provide a lot of breakthrough experiences for people. It's like you keep trying to reach for things to numb out whatever is happening in here, but if you actually just let what's happening in here come out, that in itself might be the solution to your problem. But it's uncomfortable. It's, again, we're not taught how to do that from an early age, and so we try to mask it. We try to stuff it down with whatever we want to reach for. But if you endeavor into a practice like this, I've only seen how it has benefited my life. Even having to sit in those challenging situations or uncomfortable situations, meditation is definitely a highlight, is a practice that so powerful, like looks like nothing has happened, but you can have a lot of beautiful insights come through that actually counterintuitively, for me, I think can advance one in their path or their journey. You know, I think you have to kind of do all the time, but like just by getting still, all the kind of like bullshit can kind of melt away. You can get to the heart and like let that tiny voice in you like start to speak a little louder. And there's just, I think there is like a deeper intelligence if we allow ourselves to tap into it and listen.